Throughout my life, I found that there was a lot of products, services, and professionals that I was not familiar with. I realized that not having been aware of these opportunities, I was missing out on improving my life in so many ways. I have made it my mission to search out what I feel is the best products, services, and professionals available. Each week, I will interview 3 to 4 different guests who will be discussing their products and services and why they are so beneficial to your life. And welcome to Wake Up with Tina Marks. We're back with Craig Michaels from CV Weekly. Welcome
Tina.
back.
Thank you very much.
Good.
I'm dressed up for Fashion Week, of course, which is going on.
You look so dapper.
Thank you.
You look really good.
It started last Saturday. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Maybe I should be walking the runway.
Maybe you should be doing something fun tonight.
Okay.
It is Friday.
You never know. By the way, it goes on all week and it wraps up this weekend. And this year, something a little different. It's on the second level of the parking structure.
That's what I heard. Well, because the hotel's going in
exactly,
the other spot,
right across the street.
Yes.
So, and of course, we've got a representative from Palm Springs Life coming up later on the show to talk more on that. And also happening this weekend, Palm Desert Food and Wine. It's a big weekend at El Paseo.
I'll be there.
Yeah. All right. So also this night, this weekend on Friday night, the Polo Under the Lights. Now they do this a handful of times throughout the season. They play at night. The cool thing is the admission is free and so is tailgating.
Oh,
for the night matches.
Yeah, because they're charging, I think, $10
They
now.
usually charge $10 now to tailgate. So it's free if you want to come out this Friday night.
Okay.
And it starts about 5, 6 o'clock. They start the games out there. So
oh, fantastic.
I want to check that out. Look for something
Which
cool
polo
to
ground
do.
is that?
That is at the Empire.
The Empire,
Polo
okay,
Grounds.
great.
Also this weekend, the White Party going on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a huge
That's
event.
in Palm Springs?
In Palm Springs. It happens
Did they
at
take
various
over
hotels.
like the whole
Pretty
Palm
much.
Springs area? Yeah,
pretty much.
Like all through the...
A lot of the happenings are at the Renaissance Palm Springs. In fact, it all kicks off on Friday at 6 o'clock with their big pool party.
Okay, Renaissance. I don't even
Renaissance
know
Palm
that
Springs.
hotel. Okay.
Used to be at the Wyndham.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Right, on Talkwoods Canyon.
All right.
Also is the 18th annual Opera in the Park, and this is Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's at Sunrise Park.
That's also in Palm Springs.
That's in Palm Springs.
Okay, so
1 o'clock, and it's a free concert.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like day concerts.
We got a lot of freebies on today on the list, so put your money away.
Well, summer's coming.
Right, we need to
It's
save
very
up.
timely that they're free.
All right, here's an ongoing event, a couple of them. We'd like to talk about some of the stuff that happens weekly here in the desert. Carnival Cabaret at Oscar's Cafe and Bar, also
I keep
in Palm
hearing
Springs.
about Oscars. I've got to go there.
Yeah, it's awesome food. They have sushi and all kinds of
Oh,
great
do they
seafood.
really? Okay, I didn't even know they had food. I just thought they had entertainment.
Well, they do have entertainment. It's a Carnival Cabaret.
What does
it
that
happens
mean?
at 7 o'clock every Friday and Saturday night. It's a dinner show.
Okay.
And it features a legendary masteress of ceremonies of stage, film, TV. He's an actor, James Gypsy Hake.
I know him.
Right?
He
Okay.
used to be the MC at Cajo Fall on La
Right.
Cienega in Los Angeles.
You just stole my next line.
Well,
Yes, he was.
gotta wake up pretty
You are
early
right.
in the morning, Craig.
The Caja Fall nightclub in Beverly Hills is where he got his fame.
I didn't
84
know
years
that was
old.
good. Yes, I was gonna
Amazing.
say, how old is he? I mean, I
Right?
was in my, well, let's not say how old I
All
was.
right.
But
So that's a great show if you want to check that out.
yeah, I've got to go see that. Now that's ongoing, you said.
That's
Okay,
ongoing.
I gotta go say hi.
But it only goes through the season, I believe.
Okay,
So,
so
of course,
that-
you
better
always
get
go to the CV Weekly, and there's a Google if you can't find it in there.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then another freebie for you, and this happens the second Sunday. The Palm Springs Art Museum in Palm Springs has free admission on the second Sunday of the month, and this is only going to happen April and May. So you've got this Sunday and then the second Sunday in May to take advantage of that. If you want to
Okay.
take your kids, you can take your whole family. It's free.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that.
All right, and coming up, we've got a very special musical guest today.
I heard.
A celebrity DJ.
Yay!
Yeah.
How fun.
Well, we've got Coachella
Are we
coming
gonna
up.
dance? Are we gonna dance?
Coachella's coming up this month as
yeah,
well.
yeah, I've never been.
15th
Do you
and
know
17th.
I have never
and then
been? Are you going?
22nd. Of course, I love Coachella.
Of course.
Yeah.
Where's my
Looking
ticket?
forward to
I've
Guns
won
N'
enough
Roses.
of these contests that you're getting me Coachella tickets. That's what we're doing.
Guns N' Roses is going to be highlighting the show on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to Ice Cube. They've got the LCD sound
Ice
system on
Cube.
Friday night. Oh, you remember Ice Cube. So anyway, since Coachella's coming
Ice-T.
up. Yeah, Ice-T as well. Yeah, Ice Cube,
there an
Ice-T,
Ice Cube
yeah.
too?
We've got a special guest DJ who's going to be coming up, who's playing at a Coachella party, and also he's going to be playing at Zelda's. He has a new residency there. More on that coming up.
Okay. And we're here with our social butterflies, Alexandra and Michelle. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
You both look beautiful today.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to be here.
And today we are going to be talking about boosting and
Defining your target market.
there we
and
go,
how important
defining your
that is.
target market. Let's start with
Well, let's
boosting.
start with boosting. I know that most people on your Facebook pages, you've probably seen a little blue marker that says boost this post.
Yes.
You would only have seen it if you have that professional page though. If you're somebody who has only a personal page, you wouldn't see this boost this post button.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Sure,
Okay.
yes. So it's only available for your business pages or professional pages. Boosting a post is so important. It goes right along with, I recommend that everybody always have, even if it's the smallest marketing budget, you have to have a budget of some sort. And it's,
And it's not expensive.
it costs in any range of $5 to $20. I mean,
And
if you
what will that get you? Let's say $5 or $20. Okay.
$10. I did a business owner who did a video for $10. She reached 4,000 local people. 4,000 people for one video.
For one
I think
video
that's-
for $10.
For $10.
Okay.
I think she boosted it for 3 days. And I think that's a huge return on your investment.
That's cute. Now let me ask you. So if you want to boost, would you only boost that video one time, or would you boost it like 3 times that week?
Well, you can boost it as many times as you like. I personally would recommend that you do not post every single, that you don't boost every single post.
Okay.
Boosting every single post is kind of counterproductive in that people think, okay, well, every single thing you put on can't be that
Important.
significant.
Right. Exactly. It's a little overkill.
But you do want to boost, and maybe if you have a great video, you want to boost that 2-3 times, because what you're doing is you're actually pulling in more engagement.
Yes.
And those followers, and now you have people who say, oh gosh, I saw that really great thing, and they may have seen just that one video, but they're going to come back.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Especially when you're promoting an event, you can actually define your target market as well as boost the ability day, you know, how long do you want to run that campaign? So if you have a motivational speaking engagement and you really want to promote that, I would boost your video to your clients and to your target market maybe for a week before that event, and that will come across as a sponsored ad.
Okay. So
And-
so if you're
yes.
promoting like an event like that,
Exactly.
you would boost it more than once.
Well, I would boost it one time, but for multiple days. So you determine your campaign.
Correct.
These ladies are definitely experts. You may want to give them a call for any of your social media needs. Correct?
Absolutely.
All right.
And just before you boost, make sure that you define your target market without knowing who you want to appeal. You know, a lot of business owners want to say, I want to appeal to everyone. Well, guess what? You won't be able to.
Okay. I think we should talk about that on the next show, because I don't really understand. I mean, how do you
Define.
That's what we're going to talk about in the next show. So don't forget. Okay.
All right,
How to
making mental
define
notes.
your target market. Okay.
Very important.
All right.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're here with our celebrity DJ Super James from 97.7 KRCK, and now we have residency at Zelda's here.
Yes, super excited for it. Super Saturdays, we call it, last Saturday of every month. And, I've been doing shows at Zelda's for a long time, but just kind of want to make something that was mine and something I could build on. If I have artists in town, I'll bring them by. It's just always a surprise. You never know what's going to happen at the club.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember when Zelda's. I grew up
Downtown.
down there. Yeah, downtown.
When, I worked there as a DJ actually. And I'm going to date myself, but it was in the early 90s. I worked there with Dynamic Dave, and we used to.
Dynamic Days, Cecil's, yeah.
Yes,
When you were
Cecil's.
just introducing him, I thought, if you close your eyes, you could definitely tell that you DJ.
And
Kinda got that.
yes, you do hear him on the radio when you're maybe driving down the street, turning your dial. And what shift are you working?
5 to 10, Monday through Friday on 97.7. So we do the mix show. Always got tons of goodies to give away. So definitely check that out as well.
Fantastic.
Now, something really exciting we were talking about is you're going to be DJing a show for Coachella.
Yeah, man, we just locked it in. It's gonna go down at the Hilton, a big Golden Voice show. It's gonna be myself, my musical partner Albert Ramirez. We're gonna open the show. Cash Cash.
Nice.
They're headlining, and tons of guests that we're not allowed to talk about it, but Coachella, everybody's in town, so it's definitely.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
the first time you're going to be doing that, something like that?
Yeah, it's my first big Coachella show here locally, which is gonna be amazing for me being from the valley,
Right.
and so super excited for that.
Fantastic.
James actually, I should say, grew up around the street, around the corner from me.
Yes.
So
Really?
when I was.
So you're local too.
Yes,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
So we go way back. I mean, his whole family, and back in the day when I first started mobile DJing, James was getting into the game, and I remember we used to rent equipment from each other.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we go back
Now,
years.
do you do private parties as well?
You know what? Occasionally, so busy traveling with the clubs and the radio stuff, it's hard to get that in. But I mean, if the schedule permits, definitely all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know, I just read something. Taylor Swift has a boyfriend who's I
Calvin
guess-
Harris.
Calvin Harris.
Like,
Yes.
He makes like
half a million a show.
$500,000 for a show. I think I'm in the wrong profession here.
And he's going to be headlining Sunday at Coachella.
Yes.
So
Okay.
he'll be,
Oh,
and maybe Taylor Swift will be
Yeah, you
Oh, I'm
never
sure
know who's gonna
she
be
will.
backstage.
Right?
Keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Your show you were talking about earlier, is this going to be open to the public or how does
Yeah. Tickets at dayclub.ps.
Okay.
Also on my website, djsuperjames.com, I got links for, the Super Saturdays, all the shows going on. And they can definitely buy in there. And like I said, tons of guests coming by, and it's going to be a good time.
All right, once again, that's DJ Super James on 97.7 KRCK. Thanks for stopping by today. Maybe send us out with a song.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
What you got?
Let's crank her up.
And we're here with Rob Grace from Windermere Liascaux Partners. And I said it right that time, right?
Absolutely.
I guess, Benjamin, a little shout out to you. I guess I've been saying it wrong. I guess, I don't even know what, it's Liascaux. I think I was saying, I don't know what I was saying, but it is Liascaux. Anyways, welcome. And I must say, you are quite the fashionista. You look so adorable.
You're very sweet, thank you.
I'm not sweet, I'm honest. But so you're going to tell us some changes that have been happening at the company, correct?
Yes, I mean, we've been growing exponentially. It's really a grassroots company. Benjamin started from the ground up.
Right, and that was how long ago?
Well, he began in the industry 6 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Just to update everybody,
Yeah.
when he was on, he told us.
And we've joined the Windermere brand, which is new for us. And my role was kind of organically come about. I'm the director of social media. The social media marketing is taking what Benjamin has built on that good service
Okay.
locally
Yes.
and taking that internationally.
Okay.
And via social media, which is such a beautiful tool. I mean, you can reach the world.
Well, I was talking with the butterflies earlier about
Yes.
that. It is so important for any business that you really do know what you're doing in social media. And you've been doing it for quite a while? Social media?
Well, just for the company, 3 months.
3 months, but
Yeah.
you've obviously done it before,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
And so you created your own position.
I did. I approached Benjamin. He immediately saw value.
Okay.
While he couldn't, concretely put it into, he couldn't see exactly what it was going to be.
Have you seen a tremendous shift in business since you started executing the social
That's
media?
such a good question. Because such a good
good
question.
at
Because the marketing or advertising or social media is a long-term investment. So
Yes.
it's not necessarily something that you do today and get a sale from tomorrow.
Exactly. Like with any advertising.
Like with any advertising,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, we're planting seeds and we're providing content. What I was trying to say earlier is we're providing content not just about property, but the area at large. We're embedded in the community. We believe in promoting, people in the community that contributed on a grand scale.
Yes.
The bigger picture is what can we provide people on a daily basis in regards to content that's meaningful to them, and in the long run, they will
Yes.
remember us for that. and
Exactly.
They will come to us.
Exactly, because you're meeting their needs.
Absolutely.
Well, it's so wonderful having you on the show.
Thank
and
you very
I
much.
love seeing your little face. I mean,
Thank
this
you
is
very
my new bestie. Anyways, great having you, and give Rob a call or
Sure.
anybody at the company. The information is listed below. We'll see you.
Thank you.
And we're here with a very special guest, actually our featured guest, Peter Anthony. He is an author, he is a paranormal, he is a motivational speaker, he's a life coach, he does numerology. In fact, he did my chart and it was so accurate, it blew my mind. There was only one other chart that I ever had done. My mom had it done when I was a child. That really was just totally amazing. You did not start off as an author or a paranormal. You actually started off in special...
With special effects,
Special
that's what I
effects.
was studying at the time. I wanted to become a special effects makeup artist. And back during the 80s, Leviathan, Aliens, Terminator, those franchises were, of that consciousness. And because I could paint, sculpt, build, carve, do portraits, that's where I was headed. And I ended up taking a job with CBS in the news division. I worked all the way up to New York with Dan Rather and Diane Sawyer when she was there.
Very impressive.
And I guess somewhere in the middle of all that, going from 0 to 60, I ended up having a near-death experience. I flatlined.
Near-death experience, that's okay.
And so going back to your question, after my near-death experience, a couple of years later, my gifts as an artist, special effects, began to wane. I lost all the abilities to paint, to sculpt, and I came back and began to see spirits.
Okay.
And it kind of led into this world of the paranormal. Once I got out of intensive care, I began to see spirits in the hospital.
Oh.
And this started it. And I began to tell the doctors, this is what I'm saying. Of
Were
course,
they friendly?
Yeah, they
Okay,
were actually. They
okay.
were just kind of
All
talking
right,
to me.
so that wouldn't be-
Yeah. But anyway, so
Like, what have I done?
I began to study numerology because as I crossed over, I didn't understand why all these codes came to me during
Oh,
the
that's the codes for
Got
numerology.
it.
Got it. Okay, I see.
So my drive for understanding those numbers led me to numerology.
Yes.
And it's interesting how it happened. I think it was in 1992, 93, somewhere in that time frame, a homicide detective contacted me. And they were working on what they thought was a simple murder case.
Okay.
Neighbor shoots neighbor, end of story. And I was brought in, and what happened, they found some numerology codes. And when I showed up on the crime scene, I immediately, the spirits began to communicate with me. I know.
That is.
And I
chills.
turned this, what was a simple case, into the person that was shot, the victim, actually turned out to be a serial killer.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Dan,
that led me to sightings.
yes.
and,
That's the show sightings, in
the
case
show
you didn't know
sighting,
that.
yeah,
And that
back
was on
in
which
Fox.
That was on Fox. How
Back
long?
in the 90s.
It is at this point that sightings and psychic Peter Anthony have come into the investigation, and Anthony senses an angry entity almost immediately.
As I climbed up into the attic, there was a coolness, or if you want to even call it what I call a spirit. And as I was up there, I could hear this entity walking.
Were you a
So
regular on Fox?
I was
on sightings?
reoccurring.
Okay.
And I traveled around the country working on haunted, cases, forgotten murder cases, and
Did you ever were you ever on a case that nothing came through? Like you just
no,
drew a blank?
as I said, it just to this day, spirits just show up.
Okay.
I'm kind of like the ghost whisperer. They just show up randomly and kind of communicate with me. And it's like, get out of here, leave me alone.
yeah, exactly. Go ahead. Leave me alone today. I don't feel like dealing with you.
I wrote this book in 1998.
Okay.
Longhand. I didn't even know how to type. And so while I was traveling around the country as an investigator, I would take all my sticky notes and I would just, write from page 1 to page 300. I didn't know what I was doing. I just decided to write this book. The book didn't really take off until 2008.
Interesting.
And the book basically is about, obviously, the near-death experience, but what happened to me on the other side, I began to see that women were going into power.
Mm-hmm.
When I sent out these queer letters for 9 years, every male publisher, every male lit agent turned me down. It wasn't until 2008 that the women started contacting
The
me.
women started, yeah, because you were
Because
contacting. That wasn't your audience.
No,
the
it
men
was not my audience.
your.
It was the female audience, the female lead agents, the female cast directors and producers. Thus led me to write the book, and then I've been on book tour since 2009.
And I said to you actually earlier that this book reminded me of a book that I read a long time ago called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman.
Absolutely.
And because it's very, I could not put this book down. It gives you, there's a story in it. First of all, everybody loves stories, and the way that it's written, obviously, and it's your own personal experience through
right.
and engaging and it was designed to actually raise your consciousness through all these experiences that you've gone through. So,
Right. Well, it's interesting, too, because the producers from ABC had approached me a couple of years ago. I'd never heard of Dan Millman. I knew nothing about The Peaceful Warrior.
Right.
And he said, well, are you familiar with The Peaceful Warrior? And I said, no, I'm not. So he brought me the DVD, said, I need you to watch this. I broke down in tears, and I get real emotional I'm saying this now. When I saw this movie, it just flashed me back to my beginning stages in St. Thomas. And in Dan Millman's book, his entity or ghost or angel, however you want to
Right.
identify it, was Socrates.
Yes.
Now, I could not remember this man's name. Every time I would ask him, what's your name and where are you from? He was this white-haired, blue-eyed messenger.
exactly.
Since he said he was from Brussels.
Well, he wouldn't tell you at first,
He
right?
wouldn't.
He wouldn't tell you at
No,
first.
no,
Yeah,
no.
I remember.
And so he just, every time he would talk to me, everything stood still. There was no sound, there was no movement, it was just he and I. And he, like in Dan Millman's story, just had me focus on the now and what I call the committee of my mind.
Yes.
That negative
That
consciousness.
chatter,
that
he
always
forced
speaks to
you
us.
to shut it down, yeah.
And so he taught me how to use my mind. So I called him Brussels. Brussels is the character in this book. He's
Yes.
the main character in this book.
Yes.
I would
And
love to meet Dan Millman because I want to talk to him and talk to him about his Socrates. Yes.
And Socrates, by the way, also had what he was known for was the line, "Unexamined life is not a life worth living," and I always remembered that. And so you definitely, and I know Dan, so I could actually put you two
Oh, I would
together.
love that.
You guys would probably sit for hours. And where can we get your book?
Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and I'm on a book tour right now.
That's right. So
So
tell us
I'm
about-
traveling all around the country. I'm actually doing all West Coast. I just got back from San Jose, San Marcos, Santa Cruz,
Which
San
I
Francisco.
understand they're all sold out too, right?
Yes, they are all.
Okay.
And
Does
it's-
it mean the future ones you can't get tickets? Because we're going to be putting information on the screen about you
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
going back
yeah.
out, right?
Well, they need to contact the facilitators. Once we get the summer schedule, up and going, there is so much emphasis in this book, again, written in 1998, about the rise of women in power.
Yes.
And these are the audience that's showing up. Facilitators say, oh, we might have 20 or 30 people. They're showing up 300 and 400 people, 600 people in
Yeah.
Phoenix. So, yeah, and mostly women and young people. I mean,
People
we're
are
talking
thirsty
18,
for
19,
this
and they're on
information.
because
They're
our leadership is so failing in consciousness.
Yes.
So when I show up and talk about love and kindness and compassion,
Yes.
which I learned on the other side, people listen to this and that's what they're looking for.
And, get out of the box. Open up your mind. Be open to raising your consciousness and opening up your heart and, and feeling compassion and being vulnerable. I think that is the most important thing in the world. I think we're also afraid of being vulnerable. And I think if you exercise vulnerability, the whole world will open up for you.
Well, one thing I learned from Brussels, and it's been a recurring message since 1983 all the way up into 2007, my last encounter, keep an open heart and
Exactly.
keep an open mind.
Absolutely.
That was the message that stayed with me.
Awesome. That's where we're going to close with.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. So.
Oh. And we're here with Amanda Beckner from Your Body Code, a personalized nutrition and
wellness program.
wellness program. See, I need help sometimes. I can't do it all. I'm not on a prompter. And you know what? That worked out well.
That
See?
did.
Yeah.
You just fill in the blanks. That's-
Exactly. Kind of wing it. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about cravings.
Well, we're going to be talking about emotional eating
Emotional-
and cravings and how
No.
they tie together and play a part of one another.
Okay.
So I tell people, when they come into my office, sometimes it's not so much the food, but the emotion behind the food. When you're a kid and you're coming home from school and maybe you hurt your knee or you had a scuff with a friend and you're real upset and your parent says, oh, it's okay, honey, here, have a cookie.
Yes.
You'll feel better. Or it's okay, honey, let's go get some ice cream, you'll feel better. You are taught to feed that emotion. You are
Absolutely.
taught not to talk about it, not to get it out, but
Yeah.
to feed it.
Yes.
And for that instant gratification, you feel better.
Yes.
So when you become an adult, that's exactly what you do when things happen in your life. And believe me, there's a lot more stress, as we know, as adults.
Yes, exactly.
So when that stress happens, you think, oh, I gotta go
That's
run
my
and get
comfort.
the cookie. I
That's
gotta
my
go get my
comfort.
comfort food. The other reason in that productive environment is somebody's, I call it the control issue. If
Yes.
someone's brought up in a controlling environment, they are taught that, hey, you've got to finish that plate. You've got to finish everything on that plate, and you've got to follow the rules, and you've got to make your bed, and you've got to make sure this is just perfect.
Right.
When they get it to be an adult, they say, I don't want to follow the rules anymore. I'm really tired of this.
Yes.
So what they do is they rebel against it on an unconscious level.
okay.
So what happens is when they get
So
their
much
diet,
is done through your subconscious, by the way.
when you get your diet or when you have your menu plans that you're following, you're looking at the menu plans thinking, I don't want to follow this. This is another set of rules for me. So what we're trying to do is say, and I tell people, play a mind game with yourself. If you look at your menus and you say, you know what, this is my guideline, and should I choose to follow this guideline, this will allow me to become in control of my foods, and I'm really tired of my foods controlling me. And it makes a big impact. If you're lacking in a certain nutrient,
Yeah.
and what I try to do is put that back in through the right food. So if you're
Right.
lacking in potassium and B6,
Right.
and my banana would be my first choice, and you say, no, I don't like bananas or I'm allergic, then I go to dates. So I don't like dates, okay, let's go to potato.
Right.
We go to the next best food to bring that nutrient in, so your body gets the nutrients it needs, so you stop the cravings. And you
Awesome.
feel better.
Okay, so thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
And we're here with a very special guest, Susan Stein, the fashion editor of Palm Springs Life. Welcome.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
I'm so happy for you to be here too, and I'm such a fashionista, and I love your outfit. You look
Thank
amazing.
you.
Everybody on the show today is just looking amazing.
You look pretty amazing too.
Aw, thank you so
She has
much.
on an amazing blouse.
Yes,
which is
everybody's
really
complimenting
great.
on
It's
this, and I
great.
like it, but thank you. Thank you
it's
so
great.
much. So you're here to talk about, we have Fashion Week that is underway.
Yes, it is. It's
And-
right in the middle of lots of excitement.
Very exciting. So we've already missed the opening of the opening of Fashion Week, but let's talk about some of the things that are going to be happening, because this show airs on Wednesday, which is the 6th. So we're going to talk about from the 6th forward to the end of Fashion Week.
Right.
Okay, so what shows do we have going on?
So we have on the 6th, we have the show from Graze and the Jewelry Bar on El Paseo. they're
And
doing a
I wear
special
both of
serve.
those.
Okay.
Big
good.
shout out to Grace.
Actually,
This is not from Grace, actually, today, and this is not from the Jewelry Bar today. That's just because I had a very busy week and couldn't get down there. So it's in a new venue. Let's talk about
the
that
venue's
first.
working out really nicely. It's on the second level of the Gardens parking structure.
Yes.
So, which sounds daunting and smaller, but it's actually much bigger. We've
Yeah.
only taken up half of that space.
Interesting.
And you enter through the Gardens. There's 2 escalators that get you up there. Arrows all over the place, activity all over the place. You will not miss it. It's 3 huge tents.
Okay, so then what do we have happening over the weekend? Who are we going to see towards the end of Fashion
Well,
Week?
Thursday night we have the FIDM, Fashion Institute in Design and Merchandising,
Oh,
and
that
that
should be
is a
interesting.
wonderful school that is in LA and San Diego and San Francisco. They have 4 campuses actually. Every year, their third-year design students become the couture design students. So they present their debut collection that they've put together for that year. So we have 10 students tomorrow that will be doing this. The show is amazing because they also have video resources. They learn how to do interviews, and they put together the most gorgeous collections. And then after that, they're real full-fledged designers.
Wow.
And many of them now are in Europe studying or have scholarships all over the world.
Okay.
And then Friday we have Zandra Rhodes, who some people either know or they don't. She's from Britain. She's Dame Zandra Rhodes, which is really impressive to me. I don't know too many real dames. I know a lot of other dames.
Below a lady, or?
Well, like right below a
Right-
lady.
like right below, okay.
a lady. Probably more fun than a lady, but she has, the good news is she has pink hair.
there you go. That's fun right there.
Right. She's had it for about 40 years.
Okay.
She's probably the first person I know, and a textile designer who does beautiful fabrics that she makes into these fantasy clothes that are just great.
Oh, nice.
They're feminine and lovely, and they've withstood 40 years of her being a designer.
Oh, interesting.
She has a museum in London, and to have her come here and be on the runway again is great.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
that's Zandra Rhodes' show. And then Saturday night we bring in Mark Bauer,
I've
who
heard- yeah.
who does a lot of red carpet.
Yes.
And his clothes are sexy and elegant and red carpet and things you love to wear. And he has such a unique aesthetic. And I find it interesting that every name that is on our runway you don't necessarily hear right away, but then you see their clothes and you go,
And
oh,
you
yes,
recognize
I
it,
remember.
yes.
And then also on Friday we start Food and Wine. So that gets
That's
kicked
one of
off.
my favorite things
Yeah,
to
mine
do.
too, because
Yeah.
I'm not doing a show. It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much for being here and informing us of all the exciting things that are going to be happening at Fashion Week. I'm definitely going to be there, and I hope to see you all there too. Thanks for
you.
coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching Wake Up with Tina Marks. Craig's hair is done by Charlie Yeoman. Tina's hair is done by Haggy at J. Russell Salon.